Rams fans, stop everything you're doing right now. We need to talk about the massive impact our veteran wide receiver is having on our offense and why his presence changes everything for our title hopes. There is a lot of buzz surrounding his future and how he is shaping our young stars, but some major questions about his health and long-term role have just surfaced. You do not want to miss these details. Before we dive into this critical situation, make sure you hit that subscribe button and join our daily coverage to stay updated on everything Los Angeles Rams. Davante Adams established himself as arguably the most impactful free agent acquisition for the Los Angeles Rams last season, proving that his veteran presence remains a vital asset on the field. Even though he is no longer in his physical prime, his ability to execute the specific high-level plays that defined his illustrious career was clearly on display throughout the campaign. Most notably, Adams hauled in 14 touchdown catches, leading the entire NFL in that statistical category. This production highlights the lethal connection he formed with quarterback Matthew Stafford, particularly inside the red zone, where the duo became nearly unstoppable for opposing defenses to contain. While it is true that Adams struggled with occasional drops during the season, he successfully provided the Rams with the true X-receiver profile they were desperately seeking for their offensive unit. Fans who chant "Ram it" during home games have witnessed firsthand the value of having a reliable target who demands such heavy attention from defensive coordinators every single Sunday. His arrival shifted the dynamics of the receiving corps, allowing the offense to operate with a different level of confidence when they reached the opposing 20-yard line. This successful integration of Adams into the scheme remains a primary reason why the organization chose to retain him despite exploring potential trade avenues during this past offseason. The front office eventually concluded that the team is objectively better with his skill set on the roster than without it. As we look at his ongoing tenure with the Los Angeles Rams, it is clear that he offers a dimension of experience and technical precision that remains highly difficult to replicate, serving as a cornerstone for the team's current strategic approach as they navigate the challenges of the 2026 season with high aspirations for their immediate future performance. The strategic importance of Davante Adams within the current Los Angeles Rams offense goes well beyond just his impressive touchdown totals. While Puka Nacua has proven he can effectively beat man coverage, it is not necessarily his greatest strength as a receiver. In contrast, excelling against man coverage is a trait where Adams has consistently thrived, and it was a major factor behind the team's decision to sign him. Adams remains an elite separator, capable of winning his one-on-one matchups, even when opposing defenses choose to dedicate their primary focus toward containing Puka Nacua. This gravitational pull Adams exerts on the defense allows the rest of the unit to function with more space and fewer defenders committed to the box. Furthermore, as the Rams shift their offensive philosophy toward using heavier personnel groups, defenses are forced to show respect to Adams, which creates significant tactical advantages for the team's overall game plan. He functions as a high-level WR2 who provides a consistent threat that must be accounted for on every single snap. Another underrated yet highly significant aspect of what Adams brings to the Los Angeles Rams is his impact as a teacher. Throughout last season, observers and analysts noted a distinct Davante Adams effect on Puka Nacua. Under the guidance of a veteran of his caliber, Puka Nacua showed marked improvement, with his route running and release at the line of scrimmage becoming much more nuanced than they had been in his previous seasons. This mentorship, combined with his ability to draw coverage away from other targets, makes Adams an essential component of the offensive architecture. The team currently relies on this dynamic to keep defenses honest, ensuring that the passing attack remains multifaceted and dangerous regardless of how the opponent decides to structure their defensive secondary coverage packages. Why does this matter right now for the team? The impact of having Davante Adams on the roster is most clearly felt when looking at the efficiency of the offense during critical moments. Without his presence last season, the red zone efficiency of the Los Angeles Rams saw a noticeable dip, a fact that underscores his specific value to the group. The team's front office did select C.J. Daniels in the draft, but as a sixth-round pick, the expectation for immediate, high-level production is naturally tempered. While the team could potentially look to someone like Terrence Ferguson to step into the role vacated by Adams in certain scenarios, it is highly unlikely that such an adjustment would be as effective as the current setup. The Rams currently face a reality where they lack substantial depth at the wide receiver position behind the duo of Davante Adams and Puka Nacua. Although the implementation of 12 and 13 personnel packages can mask this lack of depth to a certain extent, it does not fully replace the impact that Adams provides. His ability to win in tight spaces remains a unique skill set that few on the current roster can replicate with the same level of consistency. For a team clearly in a win-now window, the margin for error is slim, and losing a player who can manipulate defenses at the top of the route would significantly hurt their ability to sustain long, scoring drives. He raises the overall ceiling of the unit, allowing the offense to reach its full potential by forcing the opposition to respect every blade of grass on the field. Without his specific gravity and veteran savvy, the overall offensive efficiency would be forced to undergo a difficult transition, making his availability and health matters of paramount importance to the team's success. The most significant concerns regarding the future of Davante Adams with the Los Angeles Rams revolve around his health and the inevitable decline that comes with an extended career in the NFL. Adams is 33 years old and will turn 34 in December, an age where physical durability becomes a constant point of focus for any veteran player. After a strong and productive start to the season, Adams suffered a hamstring injury late in the year that continued to affect his performance levels well into the postseason. This injury highlighted the fragility of the position group and the risks associated with relying on a veteran at this stage of his career. If Adams fails to maintain his effectiveness, it significantly hampers the offensive capability of the team, especially when they enter the red zone. The statistical reality is that the Rams were the 8th worst red zone offense without Adams during the 2024 season, and their overall efficiency dropped drastically whenever he was sidelined. These facts demonstrate that the team's current success is tied closely to his ability to remain on the field and perform at a high level. While he may not be the lone centerpiece of the entire offensive strategy, he fills a vital role as a reliable option against man coverage and as a primary target inside the 20. He is essentially the epitome of the team's current win-now philosophy, a player brought in to maximize the opportunities available to the roster in the immediate term. However, the team must balance this reliance on his veteran skills with the reality of his age and the potential for further physical setbacks as the long, grueling schedule of the upcoming season unfolds, which will test the depth and resolve of the entire receiving corps. As we look at the internal rankings of the team's key contributors, Davante Adams occupies a unique position. He is not necessarily considered a foundational piece of the long-term organizational structure, nor is he the singular key piece of the Rams' broader offensive architecture, but he remains a critical component for the current season. While the ceiling of the offensive unit would not be as high without his presence on the field, the team could theoretically still function in his absence, though with a clearly reduced capacity for high-level scoring. His value lies in his ability to push the offense toward its maximum potential, providing the necessary leverage against defenses that are already busy trying to solve the puzzle of Puka Nacua. The decision to keep him after exploring trade options confirms the team's commitment to maximizing their current championship window rather than prioritizing future assets. The synergy between his experience and the younger talent on the roster has proven to be a positive development, even if the longevity of that dynamic is limited by the standard constraints of age and injury risk. Looking ahead, the Rams will need to monitor his conditioning closely to ensure he can weather the physical demands of the game deep into the playoffs. His role as an experienced mentor remains a hidden benefit that supports the long-term development of the younger receivers on the roster. Whether he is drawing coverage, teaching route nuances, or hauling in another red zone touchdown, Davante Adams remains a pivotal figure for this iteration of the team. As the season progresses, his performance will be a bellwether for the offensive success of the Rams, dictating just how far this team can go while they strive to bring success to the fans who continue to support the team.